Hello and welcome to Diecast Restos. I'm Jason and this is a Lesney Matchbox 30B Magirus-Deutz Crane Truck. It was in the series between 1961 and 1965. There are a lot of variations of this model. It started out brown with a red crane jib, but this soon changed to silver with the orange jib. Mine is missing its hook, but these could be metal painted silver or orange, or grey plastic on late versions. This is one like mine in mint condition. And this is a similar Magirus-Deutz Crane Truck based on a Magirus Mercur. These Mercur trucks were built by the German firm between 1951 and 1972. It is named Mercur, German for Mercury, due to its sun and planet gears at the rear axle. Other trucks from Magirus were also named after stars and planets. Initially, Mercur trucks had a rounded bonnet, but they were squared off for the all-wheel drive models to prevent body flex when travelling off-road. Later, all models featured this square hood, as seen on the casting. Unfortunately, while trying to remove the pin holding the remains of the hook in place, the end of the jib snapped off. I'll have to reattach this delicate piece with superglue. Early versions had a pressed biff rivet to hold the hook in place, instead of the typical rounded end axle type. Wheel variation progressed from knobbly grey plastic to silver to black and then to fine tread black plastic on the later models. Like I said earlier, there's a huge number of variations and there's more to come. On the left hand side fuel tank, the Magirus had a strap cast in. This was then covered by an ejector ring. The jib on this casting has an open rear end, but this was later cast closed. Likewise, the tip was also cast closed later on. The combination of some of these variations makes some examples of the 30B among the rarest and most valuable Matchbox 1-75 series diecasts. The rarest of all are the light brown models. These fetch figures into the thousands. The casting was replaced by another crane, the 30C Faun 8-wheel crane in 1965. Here I'm carefully reattaching the end of the jib using Gorilla Superglue. Historically, I would have used sodium bicarbonate to aid the setting process, ultimately speeding it up. However, I think the jib end is a bit too fragile for this method, particularly when it would come to filing the area smooth. While the glue sets, I prime the body first, and then the small base piece. The axles are placed in my drill and rubbed against sandpaper to remove the rust. And here is my fixed jib with my reproduction hook in position ready to be attached. The silver plastic wheels are in good condition and simply need a wash. Then the crane itself is primed in its entirety. As such, I'll be painting it all orange, more for simplicity's sake than anything. The base is coated in standard TS14 black, and the body TS17 gloss aluminium. I am really impressed with the smoothness of the finish of the TS17. I used to use silver leaf as my go-to silver, but this is excellent. Next, I can coat the jib and hook in TS12 orange. As always, this goes on really thick and wet, but dries up well usually. With the base portion finished, I attach the wheels to the axles and hammer them secure. Then the axle ends receive some liquid chrome. Now this was an unforeseen issue. As a matter of routine, I always try reattaching the base on all of my work to ensure it fits as it did before I dismantled it. On this occasion, I forgot about the crane jib. But I have a solution. I couldn't find a washer in the perfect size, so I cut this piece of tin to size, primed and painted it. My plan was to glue this piece down using some more of my trusty Gorilla Glue, like so. Then I could mark up where I'd need to drill through to allow my M2 screw to pass. I gently break through with my 1.5mm drill bit, conscious the piece on the other side was only held up by glue. But it was successful. Then I just needed to tap that small gap ready to accept the screw. A quick test fit looks to confirm the bodge job recovery mission was a success. Just don't go looking too closely, perfectionists. The footage here shows me tightening the screw, but I do attach one of my too small for the previous hole washers. And here's the result, with a fully functioning rotating crane. So I can then refit the wheels to the 2 rear axles, refit the small base section to the front, screw that in place, and then chrome the axle ends. So that's it. Here's how the 30B Magirus-Deutz Mercur based crane truck by Lesney looked before I took it apart. Missing its hook, I thought this would be a relatively trouble-free restoration. How wrong I was. First I broke the end of the jib. Then I realised I hadn't test fit the crane, so it didn't realign and reattach properly. All that meant I had to come up with a bodge quick fix. Thankfully, I think it turned out alright. So here it is. I think I've covered up the battle scars fairly well. But I'd just like to apologise for the abuse I've caused this poor little crane. It will, however, sit proudly in my display cabinet. But I've learned some valuable lessons from this build. The good thing is you never stop learning and improving in this hobby. It's the way that you recover from the setbacks that also improves. Previously, I might have stuck this one on the back burner for months on end and forgotten all about it. But in all honesty, I'm pleased with how it turned out. Please do give me a shout and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Leave a like if you think this turned out okay, and be sure to subscribe for more. Also, check out my Patreon for previews of next week's build, and please join up and support if you can. But all that leaves me to say is thank you for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.